What's up guys, Midwestern RC. Today we're going to be using my Harlequin liveried Axial UTB18 Capra. This is one of my favorite spots to go rock crawling at, and honestly one of the only spots that I have local to the Midwest with actual rocks. It's all filled in rocks with concrete, making it the perfect terrain. Let's get right into it. So suspension wise, the only thing I've done to this is remove the spring perches. It's a rather simple upgrade. You just lift the spring up, push the spring perch, which is the little cup that the spring sits on, up, and then you slide it out and let the spring rest. So what this accomplishes is it lets the rig sit about a centimeter lower, which lowers the center of gravity and it prevents tipping. This is my first time out at the spot with this rig. I have not ran it here with the stock tires yet, but please subscribe as I will be going back to this spot with the stock tires after you guys see what happens later in the video, and compare and contrast if I actually like the stock tires better. Now with larger tires, you get better ground clearance. With these Proline TSLs and Predator compound, you get more grip. The issue I was finding that I was facing was that it had raised the center of gravity back up almost too much. And I think I may have to figure out a better solution for tire foams or inserts. I'll personally want something incredibly soft, letting the tire conform as much as it can. This is a very lightweight rig, so even the stock foams with these tires are just a little too firm for my liking. I actually might run these with zero foams. I do have two sets of these, one for another car, and I might run them no foams. I might also run them with half trimmed foams, and I think that'll yield better results. It'll also lower the center of gravity too, because the truck will sit lower. It's essentially like lowering the tire pressure in your car. Now this obstacle right here, it really requires a stiff sidewall because the truck gets at quite an angle, as you'll see. I don't know if it's easy to tell through the video, but just trust me on this. So the stock tires may or may not be able to do this. You guys are gonna have to stay tuned to see in the next episode when I take this thing out here next. Really fun obstacle. I was very impressed with this thing, but if you notice, the car is very jumpy. So unfortunately, when you put a bigger tire on, you are changing the gear ratios. Now with the stock ESC, you don't have much throttle modulation at all. I'm very excited for someone to come out with a nice brushless system for this. I did speak with Furatech. They are in development, but that's probably gonna be a while until they get that going out. Another upgrade right here I'm gonna plan on doing is D's shock bands. Hit them up, D's company on Instagram. What that does is it essentially has the crawler hug the obstacle much better, lowering the center of gravity, preventing things from over-articulating and tipping the car. So I'm really enjoying the Axial UTB18 Capra so far. I'm really excited for the aftermarket support, seeing what people do with them. There's one guy on Instagram, I think his name is like Rex Racer or something like that. He already has like a 4-wheel steering, motor upgrade, ESC upgrade, which I checked the ones that he had and they're all sold out. So I'm just gonna wait until they either come back in stock or I'm gonna run a different setup whenever they come out with it in the future, as this thing definitely needs a nice, smooth, brushless setup, and I'm really hoping that it has FOC. FOC is essentially like cruise control in the terms of you're coming up to an obstacle at 10% throttle, you get up to the obstacle, it senses that you want to still get at 10% throttle, and it'll torque match your throttle so you don't have to give it more sauce, and then it's just a very smooth crawl over the obstacle. You can really finesse lines. It's an amazing system. I have it in most of my crawlers, and it's kind of hard to drive without it, to be honest. For servo, I'm running the Reefs 299 LP. It's a low profile, hence the LP servo, and it has more than enough power, more than enough speed for this rig. You don't need anything too crazy. Think of the size and the weight of this vehicle. You don't need a ProTech 1K TBL in this thing. Also, you got to keep in mind all these axle housings and everything made out of plastic. So if you have something incredibly high torque and overkill, trust me, I learned this the hard way, you can end up snapping things really quick. I would rather be like, oh crap, I wish I had more servo, instead of going, I have all the servo in the world, snap. This was really trippy. I've seen this before, but it didn't click until I was filming this video. There's like 4 random paint dots, and it's almost the same color scheme. This was a pretty challenging obstacle, and I was worried I wasn't going to be able to do it, but something just came over me, and I was like, I have to. It's like a sign or something, because it's the same color as the car, and we got to do this. And there we have it. That servo really helped. The wheels and tires, I do like them. I'm just saying, hear me out. I honestly think the stock setup will perform better with this thing. And spoiler alert, I snap an axle later in the video, and it's most likely because they're just not strong enough for these oversized, meaning larger than stock, and heavier tires. So I don't think it's going to be long for the aftermarket to catch up and develop better axles for this thing. I know a lot of other people have already snapped axles, and they all have one thing in common: much bigger tire. So a little fun fact about the Fox livery, and you can see the Fox sticker like on my hood right there on the yellow part. The Fox logo with the tail is the suspension company. The Fox logo with the Fox head is the clothing company. The more you know. All right, so here is where I don't follow my own rules, and when trucks get bound up like this is the last thing you should be doing, because this is what can happen. You can snap things. I should have just been a responsible adult, went down, grabbed it, but I didn't. So gonna fix it, get the stock tires on, and get back out. All right, if you guys liked the video, please hit the like button. Please go comment something. It'll help the algorithm, help my channel out. And please hit subscribe if you liked this content and you want to see more. I plan on doing a lot, especially over winter with this Capra. I have access to an indoor course as well, so the content is not going to stop. Until next time, guys, Midwestern RC out.